Hello, hello. Nice to see you. I'm so excited to be back with our Amplify Business Ed show after our year-long hiatus. And so did you miss me? Did you ever miss the show? I would love it if you gave me some high fives here in the comments if you did. And I'd also love to know where you're joining in. Where are you watching us from? And so you might have tuned in last week when we tried to do this show with my guest Yvonne, who I'll be bringing in a second. And we had some major technical difficulties. So we're going to give it another try today. And so far, so good. Everything appears to be good, other than I had misscheduled the Be Live show today. And it's actually 9 a.m. Pacific time, 12 noon Eastern time, where it originally had said 10 a.m. So I hope that you catch us anyway. If not, welcome to the rebroadcast and the recording of today's show. So in today's show, I have a very special guest with me. Her name is Yvonne Jones. And Yvonne is a personal business coach, client relationship specialist, best-selling author, and international speaker. So as you can imagine, I was quite excited to hear that Yvonne was more than happy to come and be a guest on our Amplify show today. Yvonne specializes in working with highly motivated female entrepreneurs, coaches and consultants, and small business owners who are 50 and wiser. I so love that term, wiser, instead of 50 or older. So I'm going to hold on to that. And she teaches them how to grow their business with confidence by building strong relationships with their clients and customers. And this allows them to create a greater impact, increase their income, and have fun in their business. Okay, we want to have fun in our business at the end of the day, right? So if this resonates with you, then please stick around as we talk about 3 ways coaches and consultants can nurture their client relationships. So hello, Yvonne. We're bringing her in. There she is. Welcome to the Amplify Business Ed show, Yvonne. It's so nice to have you here today.
Thank you so much for having me, Suzanne. I really appreciate this. And, last time, as you just said, we had some snafus, but today is going to be a good day, right?
I always believe that everything happens for a reason. So for whatever reason, the last time we gave this a try, it wasn't going to be the best show and the perfect show that it will be today. So I'm ready to go. I'm so excited to hear what you have to say. I know that we're going to be covering 3 points. One is why it's best to gain clarity when relationships begins, how confidence helps to grow client relationships, and confidence, isn't that a huge one? And then building the emotional connection, a critical element for client loyalty. So if you're ready, let's just dive right in. I'm eager to ask you the first question.
Go right ahead, please. I'm ready.
Awesome. So many coaches refer to themselves as confident coaches. Confidence coaches, I should say that properly. You're very clear that you help coaches and small business owners grow their business with confidence by building strong relationships. So how do your clients get those kinds of results?
That's an excellent question, Suzanne. And yes, I do focus on the building of those strong relationships first. And the confidence part comes, as you know, confidence comes from doing something over and over, right?
Mm-hmm.
So my clients I help to understand, and they come to appreciate that the experiences that they create from the outset with their prospects who become their customers, that's going to make a difference. It doesn't stop there, however, because our goal should always be to take our clients from prospects to clients or customers, and then take them to become raving fans and advocates. And isn't that a great feeling? Or advocates are those people who will tell everybody about us. They will tell us how happy they are, and they will share the results that they have received.
We are so grateful for those kinds of clients. Very,
Oh,
very
aren't
grateful.
we?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now, Peter Shankman, in his book, Customer Service, New Rules for Social Media World, he says that it's important to make people feel like rock stars from the moment they come in contact with you, right? And for as long as they are connected with you. He says forever. I believe that's the term he used, for the rest of their lives. Now, remember that when people come in contact with us, they do so in different forms and it may be in different locations. For example, one of the most common places is the website, but it's not the only place.
Right.
For the measure of activity that we are engaged in right now on social media for a lot of people, it's where people come in contact with them first. So here again, it ties in beautifully. There's so many things that come, together. How we appear on social media. What impression do people get of us when they come in contact with us on social media? Because remember that our personal brand is connected to everything that we do. And so in order for them to really get a good perspective of us, remember the personal branding is the perception that other people have of us.
Right.
And so for them to get the right perception and not create something else in their mind, then we have to appear, and not just appear in their eyes, that we are treating them with appreciation, like they're rock stars. So they like something, they comment on something that we post, we want to respond and say simple thank you, or just acknowledge them. Because if we don't, it's kind of like attending a networking event and you say hello to somebody and they just kind of look at you and continue going. How would that make you feel?
They'll look right past you as if you don't exist.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it's as if they get a feeling that you have dismissed them. So we can do that. We can do that right online too. We can make people feel they're not important. And that happens to be a need that people have to be made to feel important. So getting back to the coaches, that many coaches and consultants, they hesitate to take the action that is required to build those relationships. Sometimes it's out of fear. Sometimes it's not knowing exactly what to do. And sometimes it's believing that it's going to be too much work and they don't have the time. Right. But what it's important to remember is that client relationships are critical to business success. So regardless of what niche you're in, whether you are in business, you're in health and wellness, whatever niche you're in, the relationships that you build with your clients, those relationships are what's going to transform into an emotional connection rather than a one-time transaction where you sell something and then you have to run off and look for somebody else to buy the next item.
Oh,
does that make sense?
Oh, absolutely. That makes so much sense. And if I may just mention how well that works, is that, that's basically what I try to achieve for many years. And thus we have a referral rate that's in the 90 percentile range because of that. We make a concerted effort to make every single one of our clients feel special. And I got that from back years ago when I was in Mary Kay as a Mary Kay consultant, and we were taught, look at everybody that you meet as if they have a Post-it note on their forehead that literally says, make me feel special. So, it's something that I learned many years ago, and it's so true, even more so today, especially with social media.
Well, I did realize we had that in common because, again, that was a foundation for me. That was not the foundation, but that was something to build on. While I was working in corporate America and became a Mary Kay consultant, that very same thing. I listened to one of Mary Kay's recordings, those in 1999. You had tapes, right?
Yep.
So
absolutely. Really?
listen.
Oh, high five to a fellow Mary Kay
Oh, yeah.
consultant. Yay, us.
So as you mentioned about the post-it notes, and I remember she also said, imagine they wear an invisible sign around their neck saying, make me
Yeah.
feel important.
Make me
So
feel
it's
important.
whether it's the post-it notes or the invisible sign, that's what we want to do for our customer. Make them
Yeah.
feel important because
Yeah.
that's a need that they have.
Yes. And it's a need that anybody has. Like even like you're talking about on social media, these people that we're conversing with and networking with, they aren't clients yet. Maybe they have a potential to be, but they
Mhm.
also want to feel important. And so, that's a principle with anybody that we meet, right?
Absolutely. And even if they never ever become our clients, we are creating an impression on them,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. If only the whole world would follow that one simple principle, how different would life be if
It,
everybody just did that one thing?
it would, and you're right about that. And
Yeah.
just want to close out this part of the question that you asked me about the confidence.
Yeah.
Eleanor Roosevelt said something that I really like, and she said, you gain strength, courage, and confidence by every experience in which you really stop to look fear in the face.
Mm.
So at this point, I would say that if fear is stopping you from taking those actions to build those relationships, then it might be time to step into the fear so that you can gain the strength, the courage, and the confidence that you can develop this. And the return on investment is so huge.
Oh, is it ever? Yeah. Feel that fear and do it anyway, right?
That's right.
Yeah, the confidence is such a big part. So, what made you decide to focus on client and customer relationships in your business?
Now that takes me back quite a few years. To answer that question, I have to let you share with you where it began and our listeners where it began. And many, many years ago, I won't necessarily say how many years right now.
Just
6 weeks
X
after,
amount of years ago.
yeah, quite a few years ago, 6 weeks after graduating from high school at the age of 16 in Jamaica, I was hired by the largest commercial bank in the foreign exchange department. Now, I was extremely reserved, as we now call it, introverted. I wasn't shy because I could speak to anyone, but I was very introverted. And so for me, being hired I started out as a clerk typist, that was wonderful because I was at my desk and I was doing my work and I didn't have to. But a part of my job was that if the two counter people, the people who had to go to the counter, if they were busy, part of my job was I had to get up and assist at the counter. And of course, in my head, every time I had to do that, I viewed it as an interruption because now I had to go up and talk to someone and smile and be, outgoing, where I'd rather just sit at my typewriter and work.
Right.
So I realized, though, that something had to change. And, you know, I was blessed with the fact that about a dozen of us were sent about 3 months after I joined the bank to an external customer service training. And Suzanne, I fell in love with customer service because as I
Mm.
sat there in the class, it was a 2 week class. And as I sat there and I learned the difference that it made, and with bad customer service, I mean, something inside of me, it kind of recoiled when examples of bad customer service are mentioned. And on the other hand, when the points were made about the difference that it made, it resonated so much in me. It's as if my spirit connected with allowing people to have that kind of feeling. And so I
Mm.
was actually excited when I came back to work because I had that transformation. I couldn't wait to get back to work. And once I got back to work, and even when it wasn't required of me to go to the counter, but I took that initiative to do so. And I would see people, this was a bank it was the main branch, so huge columns. And, people would walk in, they would push the door, and my department was a foreign exchange department. Then they weren't necessarily customers, but they would come in to buy money drafts to send to Canada, United States, England, so on. And they would be they would be looking so uncertain. And they kind of look around and they have that, they kind of shoulders kind of down a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And I saw, it's like I could feel it, I could see it when I would walk up to the counter and say, "Good morning, how may I help you?" with a big smile and the voice that says, "I really want to help you." And I saw the transformation in the people, men and women. Their posture would change from slumped and uncertain to being more confident. And so there was a mutual transformation. I saw the difference when you made people feel special. Now, that experience served me at the age of 18. I was promoted to transfer to a smaller branch and promoted to manager secretary at the age of 18.
Wow.
And when I left the bank and went to another international company where I spent 16 years, that served me well over the years until I was promoted into human resources. I did my human resources training and I was promoted. And it served me well with the internal customers who would be employees at different levels and external customers who would be vendors. Now, and it served me well when I came. This is why Mary Kay resonated with me so much, because the principles of caring about customers. And another time I'll share my wonderful experiences that I had there, but doing simple things that I'm going to share here allowed me to keep my very first customer for 14 years. And when I gave up my business, I was able to turn her over, as well as many others, to other consultants. And it's because I put into practice the simple things that allowed my clients to feel special, so that they were connected. They felt they had an emotional connection with me. Yeah. But over time, though, Suzanne, I recognize that times have changed. We know that. We're talking about in the 70s, and now we are. So times have changed. So while customer service is still the foundation, now people have come to expect good customer service. And so for us, especially coaches, consultants, any business person actually, now it's important that you create experiences for your clients, because they have come to expect the customer service. It's do or die. You either do it or you don't. But now you have to do more. You have to create an experience for them. And this experience is what's going to help to build the emotional connection between both of you.
Yeah, I well said. I couldn't agree with you more. That customer experience is so important, and it's amazing to me how a lot of people just don't make that connection, or like you had said before, just don't know how, don't have the time, don't have the inclination, whatever that reason is. But that's why this conversation today with you, Yvonne, is so important, that you're pointing out these really, really valuable reasons. And so let's just pop right into, those three ways that you had promised us that coaches and consultants can nurture relationships. So please go ahead and share those three pointers that you were going to share.
Thank you. Yes. As coaches and consultants, we have an amazing opportunity to build those strong relationships, because most times we're dealing one-on-one with people. Mm-hmm. And small business owners, especially brick and mortar companies that I have worked for, they still, even in this 21st century, can build those strong relationships. But for us who are clients and consultants, we are one-on-one. Even in group settings, we have a better opportunity. So here are some of the things. Number one is to be generous with praise. Mm-hmm. Be generous with praise. A lot of times we have our clients and we never remember, or we often forget to say, "Thank you for being my client. Thank you for your business. I appreciate you because," and you give them a personal compliment. In my coaches training years ago, one of the first things that I learned is that it's important to to thank people authentically. And when you thank them or you give them a compliment, let them know specifically why. For example, if they made leaps and bounds, you work with clients, you work with tons of clients for years, Suzanne. And
Yes.
and it's a different type of business, but you also work with people one-on-one as well, right?
Absolutely. Yes.
So you have seen where some of your clients, you work on things and you tell them, not necessarily tell them what to do. The ICF doesn't like that when we say tell them what to do, but we agree on certain action steps and they never take them for one reason or the other.
Yeah.
Then we will have clients who anything you discuss before the next time, they have already done it. They take action.
Yeah.
So wouldn't it make sense that you want to make sure and tell them, thank you for being an action taker? Instead of, it's kind of like you have two children and one is never doing what you say and the other one say, you don't want to love one less than the other, one more than the other, but it's hard not to be drawn to the one that makes life easy. Right?
Right.
The one who does. So you want to acknowledge your clients and let them know that you notice what they do.
Yeah.
And then so that's the number one. And
Yeah,
that
and
includes
and I'll just mention about that point. When I do work with my consulting clients, and I give them their homework, and when they do it, yeah, I'm celebrating with them. It's even one step further from acknowledging and thanking them. It's a celebration of, yay, we did this together. Well done. And
there you go.
it just validates everything, and it just makes them feel like, yes, I'm on the right track here. Let's go on. What's the next step? So yeah, this is so important.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And keeping check out when they reach a particular milestone in their life, in their business too. Sometimes you take a client to a certain point and they no longer necessarily need to work with you. They may need to work with somebody else. But you don't see that they're like traitors because they left you to up level their skills and work with someone else. So even though they may no longer be your clients, and I'm sharing this with my heart because I've seen too many times where people act like if their client goes to work with another coach, they're like a traitor. And that should not be how it's viewed. You took them to one level, but they now need someone to take them to another level, or they're diversifying into something else and needs additional support.
That's true.
So for them, they may not be your clients still, but still acknowledge them. Just if you see something, just, hey, a quick email or a quick note on social media. Congratulations, saw you reach a new milestone. You know what that does? It maintains that relationship. And they can become a referral partner for you.
Absolutely.
I think that's what sometimes we forget, that it's not just about us and one, it's a whole, it's our connections.
Yeah.
And the relationships that we create with our immediate network can expand exponentially.
Yeah, well said. Well said. That is so important. People can get jealous or upset or think of it as a loss, but at the end of the day, it's how we respond to those situations that can make such a big difference for everybody, for all parties concerned. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So my point number 2 is show you care with a gift. Onboarding is very important, and how you start anything, they say, is how you're going to continue. So when I say a gift, it doesn't have to be something fancy. It can be a simple, heartfelt card that you send in the mail to your client, your new client, to say thank you for giving me an opportunity to work with you on your pathway, or to reach a particular goal or something. It can be like a welcome to the family gift. It could be a personalized thing. I also like to send journals to someone. Or for some people, they like to send maybe like cupcakes or something like that. personally don't like to send food because people have too many different allergies and things these days. I like to send something that they can look at. And, Susan, it doesn't have to be expensive, doesn't have to be hard. Look out for, we kind of have to put on our marketers hats, even though we may not be in the marketing side of things. But for example, there are certain stores like Michael's at certain time of the year, they will have certain things that are on sale. And you can go into Michael's and find some beautiful journals that would normally be a lot more. And maybe it's the end of the season or something and they mark them down. Stock up on a few of those. Send one to your client. I mean, maybe it may cost you $5 something just to mail it, but it's a one-time and you're cementing a relationship. So you send them a gift, then it might be like holidays, if that's what you do. If you're someone who sends birthday things, then you can do it. I personally like to also send cards that for no special day. It's not a holiday. It's not it's a total, I call it the unexpected card.
Yeah, just because day.
Just because day, exactly. Just thinking of you. And that I did this in my Mary Kay business. I do this with my clients. I've been doing this for years. Just because, even with my brick and mortar clients, I would do things like that. And they were always so surprised. How did you think, oh, this is so nice, you thought about me? One of the things that I always love to do is if they're married, I would also always try to get the anniversary date. And send an anniversary card because they're not expecting me to remember their anniversary. And I document that. So having a CRM service or simply Excel spreadsheet if you want to not go into, because some people have a challenge with technology and learning all about the new CRM, put it in an Excel sheet on the key things to remember about your clients so that you can create that, again, that bond and that relationship. Keep that visible and in mind at all times and let them know you care.
Yeah, I love that because that just ties right back to make somebody feel special. And when somebody is remembered, that's huge. And we don't know what's going on in the personal lives of our clients. We don't know that they're sitting there lonely and or feeling dejected or whatever, and when somebody just knows and recognizes them and remembers them, that could just make such a huge difference in their day. So I love that tip.
Absolutely. And the final tip, because I see we're running out of time too.
That's okay.
The final tip is something that you have referred to a few times, is make them feel valued. And again, it all comes together. And now look at what's going on social media. For example, before I give the for example, I'm going to go back and tell you, so note of caution. Always ask your client if it's okay to put something on social media about them. Not everybody wants people to know that they are working with a coach or who the coach is. And I have, I've known of situations where people are offended because, like, I will have a client and I say, congratulations to Susan on it. I don't mention anything about my client, Susan. I just, congratulations to you. It's just, you achieved something, or I may be doing a shout out for you. And I just talk about you, that she's an amazing person with strong values or so caring about people. I don't have to mention that you're my client. That's not important. But I see people doing that. Always ask your client for permission before doing things like that on social media. And the thing that you want to do in helping to make people feel valued, which you have referred to a few times, is look at what's going on in their lives. They could make a post about their mother went into the hospital, or someone for them passed away, or they're not. Send them a message. If it's something traumatic like a severe illness or something, you determine what you want to send, but it may simply be like, they may be out of town in another town. Find a florist and order maybe a potted plant, so something that they could look at and say, wow, I feel so special because I'm paying her money, but she values me as a person. You know what that kind of connection does to somebody when you take the extra
step. That's wonderful. Yeah.
to show them that you really value them and you respect them. And the last thing I'm going to say is from time to time, send them a recorded message.
Hmm.
A simple recorded message doesn't have to be long. Record it on your phone. Was thinking of you, saw so and so and so, and you came to mind. Hope you're having a good day. Wow.
That's all it takes. Just a little bit
That's
of extra
all it
effort.
takes.
Yeah, I love that. I know for me, what I do is on social media is I literally have lists of our clients, and I watch out for them and I acknowledge them and like and comment on their posts and congratulate
Mhm.
them when I see things. It's my way of supporting them and their business. I share their posts so that other people in my network can be exposed to them. So yeah, this is so amazing tips, and I'm so glad that you came on today to share these, because it's just such an important thing. And shout out to Diana. She had said very good interview, great information, and I know Diana is a master networker as well. And so this is just really, really good information that I think, like I said before, everybody in the world should be practicing these basic principles. And just imagine what kind of relationships we would all be having with each other, and just with that spirit of giving and gratitude for just having somebody be there, and for both ways, right? Like
Yeah,
there's an endorphin that actually gets released when we do a kind act for somebody else. So not only are we doing somebody else, helping them make their day better and make them feel better and valued and all of that wonderful stuff, we're also benefiting from that kind act that we did, and it's just a huge win-win situation, right?
absolutely. And
Yeah.
who doesn't like win-win situations? Because
It's it's like a domino effect. It's a win-win-win-win, because that person that we were kind to and made their day, then they're going to feel so much better, and they're going to reciprocate and do it to somebody else. And
exactly.
yeah, I just love it. I just love the whole spirit of what you're talking about here. So do you have any final tips for us before we sign off?
It's just to remember that building strong relationships, those relationships are important to our business success.
Mm.
And we also have to remember that it's going to take us some time. It's going to take a little work, but the return on investment far surpasses any time that we do it. And it doesn't have to be hard. This is why I don't call them, I say simple steps, but I don't say easy steps, because they're not always easy, but they're pretty simple to do. And it's just to create a structure so that you can do them effectively. And that is what, when I work with my clients, that is what I help them to do, to create a simple structure, a system, because systems work. And when you have a system in place, then it makes it so much easier to know what to do, and people don't fall through the cracks.
I think that's just so important to point out. Like, the things that we talked about today feel like they should be simple and easy. But the reality is that if you don't have a system in place, if you don't have that structure in place, it's so easy to just not do it. You get caught up in the day-to-day workings of your business, and other things take priority, and you say, oh yeah, right, I'll get that to later.
And
And so
it
that's
never
where
happens,
and then it never
right?
happens. Yeah. So that's why working with someone like you can really make, create this system so that it's a part of our business plan. That the business structure relies on this kind of a system, and you're the perfect person to be able to help people out with that, infusing that kind of a system into their business, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, and you have something that we can share with our viewers so that they can get more information and learn a little bit more about what you can do, right?
Yes, I have a free gift. It's very short report it's about discover 4 ways to create lasting client relationships. Very simple, very easy, fast read, and they can
Mhm.
get it at tiny URL. Oh, you have it there.
I have
Okay.
it up in the, yeah, just look in the comment section, everybody, for the link.
Okay. Yes, thank you for
Yeah.
posting that. I was given the link shortener, that's why I started with tiny, but that's
Tiny.
exactly it.
Yeah, yeah, it's easier to just click.
Yes.
But yeah, so tell us a little bit more. The 4 ways to create lasting client relationships, and so what will people get out of downloading this report?
Well, they will get some simple steps, simple strategies, simple reminders to that kind of continues the conversation. That report helps to continue the conversation that we're having right now. And some
Hmm.
of it will be a little bit of a refresher, but it's basically to whet the appetite. So if you want to learn more, you can reach
Yeah.
out to me because I offer a complimentary consultation. And this is not a way to it's not an enrollment conversation. It's a way that when you leave this 15-minute consultation with me, you leave with a mini plan
Hmm.
on what you can do, some simple steps that you can do right away, you can implement right away in your business so that you can start on the path to building those lasting relationships with your clients.
Fantastic. And I love that, your consultation is not just a sales call.
No,
Your people are going to leave with some solid, valuable information so that they can get started with building really long-term, lasting, valuable relationships with not just their clients, but with anybody that they're dealing with and working with.
exactly.
And the same principles that you're talking about can apply to your team too. The people that you hire to help you run your business, and so it just works all the way around.
It does. And that is a
Mhm.
different topic altogether, Suzanne,
It is.
because, oh my goodness, those employees should be the first customers. And unfortunately, so many businesses don't regard them as that. So, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. We wouldn't have a business if we didn't have, employees to help us run that business to take care of our clients. And so I know that I tell my client or my employees all the time how much I value them. And because I do, like it's an honest, oh my God, I'm so glad that you are a part of my team because I wouldn't be able to do any of this if it weren't for you. And so shout out to my team at eVision Media. I appreciate you all. And speaking of appreciation, thank you, Yvonne. I so appreciate you taking the time to share your valuable tips with us today. And I'm so thrilled. We never knew that we were both Mary Kay consultants from years back. It's been many years since I was in there, but
Mhm.
the things that I learned back then, I bring with me today, and so are you. Such a valuable training that we received, and 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 it's not just the value. It's just the heart of how you run your business. We're bringing that forward and running our business with authenticity and with the desire and just to build really good, valuable, trusting relationships with our clients. And I see Yvonne has just posted here real quick. I totally agree. Our first customers should be our employees. Love that. And I
Love
know,
that.
yeah. And Yvonne is, she works with. In communications and employees are one of the group of people that she works with, and
Mm.
or helps women leaders manage their employees so that you get the best results out of that. So thank you for that, Yvonne, and thank you both, Yvonnes.
Yeah, I love what she just said. Absolutely. I love that, Yvonne.
Yeah, yeah. So that's fantastic. So everybody, please go now, click on that link that I put in the comment section. Grab that free report and download it, and then take advantage of the 15-minute free consultation with Yvonne. I think even if you think that you are doing everything right, I bet you any money that Yvonne can provide you with some even greater insights and steps that you can be taking to get you even further along and go deeper with your client relationship and get those results, get the results that you're looking for. So thank you again, Yvonne, and thank you for joining us. I so appreciate all of you. So that's it. Bye for now.
Thank you, Suzanne, for having me. Bye for now.